The morning shift at the Nexus Station cargo dock was supposed to be routine. Raza adjusted his work vest and checked the manifest on his datapad, watching as ships from dozens of worlds docked to exchange goods across the galaxy. The station hummed with activity. Zephyrians with their crystalline appendages directing hovering cargo pods, Vorthon traders negotiating in their clicking language, and humans like himself doing the grunt work that kept interstellar commerce flowing. "Another day, another credit," Raza muttered, hefting a container of rare earth minerals toward the designated storage bay. That's when he heard it, a sharp cry followed by the sound of something hitting the metal deck. Turning, he saw an elderly, Calarian female sprawled near the loading platform, her forearms tangled awkwardly beneath her frail form. Her silvery skin had taken on a pale, almost translucent quality that indicated distress in her species. Without hesitation, Raza dropped his cargo and rushed to her side. Around him, other dock workers continued their tasks, either not noticing or deliberately ignoring the fallen alien. The unspoken rule was clear. Stick to your job. Don't get involved in interspecies incidents. "Are you hurt?" Raza asked, kneeling beside her. The universal translator in his ear converted his words into soft musical tones, the Calarian language. The old female's large opalescent eyes focused on him with surprise. "Young human," she said, her voice trembling. "My leg. I cannot stand." Raza gently examined her lower left limb, careful not to cause additional pain. Calarians were notoriously fragile compared to humans, their bones hollow like a bird's to support their tall, willowy frames. "I think it might be fractured. We need to get you to medical." "Raza!" The harsh voice of his supervisor, Korvac, boomed across the dock. The stocky Terran stormed over, his face red with anger. "What the hell do you think you're doing? This lady fell and—" "I don't care if she sprouted wings and started singing opera," Korvac snarled. "You've got quotas to meet. Let station security handle it." "She's injured, Korvac. I can't just leave her here." The supervisor's eyes narrowed. "You can and you will. That's an order." Raza looked down at the Calarian woman who was watching the exchange with growing understanding despite the language barrier. Her ancient eyes held a mixture of hope and resignation, as if she'd seen this scenario play out before, always ending in disappointment. "No," Raza said quietly. "What did you say?" "I said no." Raza stood up, meeting his supervisor's glare. "I'm taking her to medical. Fire me if you want, but I'm not abandoning someone who needs help." Korvac's face turned an even deeper shade of red. "Fine, you're terminated. Effective immediately. Clear out your locker and get off my dock." Ignoring the stares of his former co-workers, Raza carefully helped the Calarian to her feet, supporting her weight as they made their way to the station's medical bay. The journey took 20 minutes, during which she introduced herself as Elder Lyrath of the Calarian High Council. "You sacrificed your livelihood for a stranger," she observed as they waited in the medical facility. "This is unusual behavior." Raza shrugged. "It's just what humans do. At least, what we're supposed to do." Dr. Fiza Kamar, the station's chief medical officer, emerged from the examination room with a warm smile. Her dark eyes sparkled with the kind of compassion that had drawn her to xenobiology. "The fracture is clean and should heal perfectly with our bone regeneration therapy," she announced. "You'll be back on your feet in a few days, Elder Lyrath." "Doctor," the elderly Calarian said, "I must ask, are all humans like these two?" Fiza glanced at Raza curiously, not knowing the full story yet. "Like what?" "Willing to sacrifice for others without expectation of reward." "I'd like to think so," Fiza replied honestly. "Though we're not perfect, helping others is pretty fundamental to who we are as a species." Elder Lyrath was quiet for a long moment, her opalescent eyes studying both humans intently. Finally, she spoke. "I came to this station on official business. The Calarian High Council has been searching the galaxy for a species to serve as peacekeepers in our sector, a role that requires not just strength, but compassion and moral courage." She paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. We've evaluated dozens of species over the past decade. The Vorthons are too aggressive, the Zephyrians too detached, the Drakmari too proud. But today, I witnessed something remarkable. A human chose kindness over security, compassion over compliance. Raza felt his heart skip. Elder Lyrath, what are you saying? I'm saying that the Calarian High Council will formally request that Earth provide peacekeeping forces for our sector. It's a position that comes with substantial compensation, advanced technology sharing, and the opportunity to help maintain peace among 17 different worlds. Fiza's eyes widened. That would be incredible for humanity. The elder nodded slowly. And for you, young Raza, there's a personal offer. We need a human liaison. Someone who understands both courage and compassion. The position would be based on our capital world, with a salary that would make your former dock job seem like pocket change. Raza stared at her, speechless. That morning, he'd been a cargo handler facing unemployment. Now he was being offered a chance to represent his entire species in an interstellar peacekeeping alliance. And Dr. Kumar, Elder Lyrath continued, the alliance will need medical officers who can work with multiple species. Your expertise would be invaluable. 6 months later, Raza stood on the observation deck of the Calarian flagship Harmonies, Edge watching as human peacekeeping forces conducted joint training exercises with allied species. Fiza worked beside him, reviewing medical protocols for an upcoming diplomatic mission. Do you ever think about that day on the dock? She asked, noting his contemplative expression. Raza smiled, remembering Korvac's furious face when he'd learned that his terminated employee was now humanity's representative to one of the galaxy's most influential alliances. Every day, he said. Funny how doing the right thing can change everything. Through the viewport, Earth hung like a blue marble against the star field. No longer just another world, but the home of the galaxy's newest peacekeepers. All because one human couldn't walk past someone who needed help. In the end, it wasn't humanity's technology or military might that earned them respect among the stars. It was something far simpler and far more powerful. It was the willingness of people like Raza to choose compassion over convenience, to help a stranger even when it cost them everything. That perhaps was the most human thing of all.